Windy Bill here, and we're at the Goldome Mill. The conveyor belt was picking its speed up, and it was coming from here. The ore was being pushed in to that hole, and it was dropping down on the conveyor belt. The first one we seen was that there dropping onto the conveyor belt. So what they was doing, they was adding something to the material before it went to the ball crusher.
You want me to get a picture down the hole?
Sure. Okay, we got another one here. This was feeding down to it, and that over there would be where we could see daylight.
Well, that's where it comes out, is way over there?
Yeah, here's another drop hole. Okay, and this was...
Get a better picture, because I can't get close enough to that one to get a straight down shot. I don't want to lose my sunglasses.
No, you don't want to do that. Okay.
I don't want to fall into that hole, but I can turn around and see where that daylight comes out. Oh, here's the vent.
This was a movable conveyor. It would swing back and forth through motors to move where this one was dropping, where they could have a consistent pile. Now we look over here. We got different conveyors and sorters, classifiers, to make sure no big oversized ore rocks got dumped into the small stuff. That's a classifier right there. And if you look on the second story has a vibrating cone crusher. And when you're up on this, you have to watch out for holes. Sunshine Girl spotted something down here we need to look at. Yep. And there's where we could see the light coming out. And it's graded off. That was just air intake. Got a water tank up there. Yeah, we're going to walk over here. Since we already got all the way up here. Okay, now it would go through the chrome crusher, drop down to this conveyor. It would go up to this conveyor where she's pointing. Now point down. That is a classifier. A classifier sorts the size of the material. Right there where she's pointing her finger. To make sure nothing too big gets through. It would bounce, the big stuff would bounce off. Come over here, bounce down this trough right here. Kind of big rocks would tumble down, hit the conveyor here. This conveyor goes all the way up, back to the top of that crusher. This conveyor would take it out to the dump pile. And this is the one we was looking at that moves side to side. It would pivot off of a point down here, and it would dump all this whole big pile. And they probably had a bulldozer up here pushing it in those holes. And this conveyor would take it, like I said, would take it all the way back up. And it would drop everything back into the vibrating cone crusher. This is a very noisy operation. Now, okay, that was the classifier and that was the hopper. What?
Do you want to film it in it?
No. Okay, if you look up top, you see those two beams sticking out past. Those are beams for a gantry crane. The rollers for one of them is still on it. The other one's missing. But they could drive a truck up, park it underneath that, hoist whatever they needed up, and take it inside to work on it, to repair it. As big of a crusher as that is, I'm surprised it's still here. You know, the funny part is, this could all be put back into operation relatively cheap. This was an oil tank for cooling all the equipment. They get pumped out of here and then flowed back in. And this is where the motor would have sat that ran this big crusher. Yeah, I'm going to come around the corner and I'll bring you back. Look at that, General Electric Company. There's big stuff. Okay, we got a hatch here. That's the end of the conveyor. So the stuff would come out through this trough and then be vibrated down into the conveyor belt.
From up there.
And it's coming clear from up top, coming where that crusher was.
Be kind to your mom.
Be kind to your mom, okay.
That's what it says up there.
Yep. Okay, we're going back up another level or two. I'll get over there to the other crusher here in a few minutes. It looks like it's still in there. Okay, we're on grading again. This should have been the control room, a high voltage room for running all the crushers. It's been all gutted out. But they would bring electricity in here, 480, 3-phase. To run all the equipment, all these electric motors. Hey, you need a little handle to twist something? Got it right there.
This. Bill, what would do this?
Okay, I'm going to get over there. This is a cone crusher, a vibrating cone crusher. What's that?
And they threw trash in there.
Yeah.
Look, what would split that?
A lot of heavy bending. That's what adjusted the crushing force.
Oh, Bill, look at the turn thing over here.
Yeah, there's a big handle here. Okay, you can see this better. Material would fall through this hopper off of the lead conveyor. That would be the material coming back from the separator down there, classifier, and it would all dump here and dump back inside. It would dump in and hit that plate, and you can tell that plate's been hit a lot with rock, fall off and go down there in that cone, and that cone is just orbiting, not spinning, but orbiting at an orbitive rate where it's getting the rock in the cone and then crushing it against the sides with vibration and the fact that it's just stirring it up. And now we're going to go up another level. I'm going to take this moment. That was the stockpile for their material. That was the rolling conveyor. That was the conveyor coming out of the crusher. That was the reject conveyor going back up into the crusher. So it would go up and get vibrated and drop back in. That one would drop it in there. This would have been lowered down. Wow. And the bigger stuff would be coming off of that conveyor onto this and dropping it into the next smaller crusher. And anything that didn't get dropped in would get rejected down that chute. Doesn't work.
Maybe because the guts are missing.
Oh, I think it's missing some wiring.
You want to walk down this? Or
Yes, definitely.
Okay. I don't feel like climbing down.
Okay, now we're going to walk over here following to the primary crusher. This easily got the belt still on it. That's pretty good.
And they painted it too.
Yeah. Well, old conveyor belt is very solid and sturdy. People build a lot of stuff out of it.
Beware.
Yep. Got a hole. Oh well. So that's the secondary crusher, cone crusher, and boy, we are at the monster.
Do you want to get up there?
Yeah.
Do you want me to just take it up there? Oh, that means well then.
Oh, it moves. It's made to move.
No, no.
Yeah, the railings are cut.
Yeah.
So,
Here, you want me to
take the camera up there and just stick it over and look at it. Okay, the dump truck, the uke, the haul truck would dump. He would back up to this hopper and he'd dump his load there. And that would drop onto that. And then it would drop down, come down, and drop into this crusher here. Look at the size of these wheel weights in this crusher.
Bill.
And that guardrail you see there, that's what kept the truck from falling off the edge.
Down here?
Yeah, if it fell down to here, it would make a mess. This is where the motor was mounted, the electric motor to run the crusher. And it would have a series of belts across here, just like this one. We have one left of the original belt.
Bill, you can get the size of the wheel.
Yeah, this wheel and that wheel, they're big. The stair that was a little bit wonky is wonky for a reason. Yeah. Is because it was made to fall out of the way so they could work on this. So it would drop out of here, come down here, drop into there, and gets fed into that crusher. Of course, everything is mounted through springs. If you have springs and flexibility, things won't break.
What is that, the Kraken?
Yep. A lot of nice graffiti here.
Mm-hmm.
Very pretty. You can tell he has a lot of toning and a lot of depth perception. Well, most people, this is as close as you'll ever get to being around a mine processing plant. One that's abandoned, because there's no way anybody would let you walk through here while this was in operation.
Is this a shut-off valve? Is that a shut-off valve?
That's something, I'm not sure what, an anchor of some sort.
Okay. Are we going up?
No. Huh?
Why not?
I don't know, we could. Is there stairs? Oh, okay. Well, we're going to go up top, one more level. Might as well, we're here. to the truck if he rolled back too far. And then he would drop it down there. So the size of those openings is the size of the rock that could crawl in that crusher. And we're looking like 2 foot by 12 inches, 14 inches wide. You be very careful.
Yes, no, go to the end?
No. Nope, not worth it. No picture worth that. That's just a little too shaky up there. So we made it up to the top. And this was the haul road they'd come in on.
Show them how you had to crawl over, because the tree was in the way.
Well, you came up this way. Sunshine Girl ducked under. I squeezed through. Let me show you something, people. That's got big spines on it.
It's sharp. You want to get a picture of the cricketty on the side of the thing?
Yeah. Okay.
Step up there.
BES
Something.
IE. We started down there at the ground floor, went through the tunnel, came up the stairway, got up top here, went all the way up on top of this, took this stairway down, went inside the primary crusher, up, and now we're on top. We're on top of the world. I don't know if you'll make it out, but got a moon tonight.
So this is how the trucks would come in?
This is where all the trucks would come in. They would come in and then back into here and dump.
What's this black stuff? This black gravel?
It looks like volcanic. They probably spread it on the ground to stabilize the ground.
And then some white stuff over there.
That would be a limestone for the milling process.
What's this white box?
Let me know if it's anything good. I'm going to shut you guys off for a few. Getting the camera starting to get pretty hot. From there to here and back inside where the tunnel is. Now we have to go across the bridge.
Hi, Mommy!
So your Jeep is the Bumblebee?
Bumblin.
Bumblin.
Well, actually, it's supposed to be Bumblin. But because of the bees, I moved it Bumblin.
Okay, there's our ball crusher. You know, there's still a lot of heavy equipment in here. A lot of very expensive equipment. And equipment that's not that old.
What was bolted to this?
I would say this was another ball crusher, and I'm not sure what was on that.
Motor?
A motor to run the crusher.
What was in that tank?
That I don't know. That was another batching mixing plant of some sort. Probably something to use in the processing.